Now for today's Money Watch, a lot of people wait until January 1st to make those New Year's resolutions, but there's a new trend on social media called the Great Lock-In and has people doing it right now. And it got us thinking, why wait until January to come up with a resolution for our finances? So we called in CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger to help us get a head start. Okay, so I'm not familiar with all these TikTok trends. What is this one?
Okay, I love this so much because the Great Lock-In is essentially saying, again, why wait for some temporal moment? Why not lock in on something you want to do right now? We don't have to do it on January 2nd. So before the end of the year, pick something that you want to focus on and really make it happen. Be true to yourself and say, what can I make happen? And then do it. And I think it's great because, honestly, people like, oldsters like me would be like, oh, we've been talking about this for a long time. I don't care the vehicle and the why. Yes, let's get people to focus on some financial matter they would like to accomplish before the year, and I love it.
And do you love it just because sooner is always better with money? I remember when I worked in finance, one of the first things they said, okay, everybody, $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. Is that the draw?
I mean, yes, and I think that it's important to sort of bring this together and make it feel like I can do it, other people are helping me do it, we're in this together. We know that when we socialize a lot of our goals, we're more likely to actually be accountable to them. And so, if you're saying, oh, God, I don't know where to start. Often you hear me say, like, listen, you got to start building your emergency fund. Start now, just a little bit of money every week. But a lot of people don't even know what they are spending. So if you want some ideas for a great lock-in topic, number one is, of course, I love building your emergency fund. But maybe a better one is, hey, I don't have that much time before the end of the year. I'm going to track where my money goes. You don't have to have a big budget. It doesn't have to be some big ask that you're asking of yourself. Track where your money is going. That could be your number one thing to do before the end of the year.
So we've also got the holiday season coming up. Is there a lock-in goal that people should have around holiday spending?
I think it's a good idea to right now, before the euphoria and the frenzy begins, to start building your list out. Like, who do I actually have to purchase gifts for? What do I really have available to spend? And maybe one great idea is to just say, it's about 10 weeks until the holidays. Let me put some amount of money aside, like the old Christmas club they used to have at a bank.
Right.
Some $10, $20 a week. If you can afford it, put some money aside, then start tracking with one of these online tracking shopping sites. And you can use these to say, like, what would I like to buy? How much does it really make sense for me? All of these price tracking apps are, going to help you build that. But focusing on it also maybe helps you prevent blowing through whatever budget you develop.
Impulse buy.
Indeed.
So you're always talking to us about the job market and how it's slowing down. For people who are looking for work, what should their lock-in be?
I think that anybody who works right now, there's a sense of uneasiness. And I understand that. And it's very hard to feel like you're not at the other end of, like, well, something's going to happen to me. So I love taking control. The only way I know how to take control is to kind of work your network. So I think a great lock-in could be, whatever you do in life, find one person doing something that you think is kind of cool that you'd be interested in, and connect with that person. Now, that's called networking, which is a horrible word. Build a relationship, reach out to somebody. And by the way, if someone has reached out to you and said, like, hey, Adriana, you have a cool job. This is awesome. Can I talk to you about it? Respond to it. I think that what we've learned is that people are getting jobs or even developing little side hustles during these very tight times by their connections. So really rely on those connections. They can bring your job search to a different level.
Update that LinkedIn.
You betcha.
Important. Very important.
My LinkedIn is like a decade out
Mine
of date.
too.
You wouldn't even recognize me.
This is what I did.
We're optimists here, me and Adriana.
Jill Schlesinger, a little too optimistic, probably. Thank you so much. If you have a money-related question that you would like our Jill to answer, just send her an email at askjill@cbs.com, and she could answer it right here on the show.